What's up, and welcome to another edition of The Fight. And we are talking about the big UFC fight that was last night. Robert Whittaker, aka Bobby Knuckles, versus Kelvin Gastelum. Man, this was a nice fight right here for a couple of reasons. Backstory heading into the fight. Both of these guys have fought against Israel Adesanya, the middleweight champion, and both of these guys have tasted defeat. Now, obviously, Kelvin Gastelum took Izzy to deep waters. It was one of the greatest fights that we've probably seen in that division, or debatable at least, in terms of just the back and forth, and then seeing Izzy have to rise to the occasion to end the fight the way that it ended. And now, obviously, Robert Whittaker, aka Bobby Knuckles, he had been the champ, he had been doing his thing, but then when he got his chance to fight Izzy beat him quick. I mean, it looked good. It was dominant by Izzy. So you get this fight where both of these guys are trying to get back in contention, right? Trying to see who's going to be the number one contender, because currently it was Robert Whittaker. So you get this fight right here. And this is a big deal because, like I said, Kelvin fought Izzy, probably the best we've seen Izzy get fought at the middleweight level. Now, obviously, Jan Blachowicz did something different, but that was at a higher weight. But then, like I said, with Robert, it was like, man, you know what he's capable of. So stylistically, it was going to be interesting because Bobby Knuckles, he's nice on the feet, man. He's great with his hands, understands range, distance, time, and footwork. Whereas Kelvin just keeps coming. He's like a tank, man. You can't knock the kid out. He stays coming forward. He's a pressure fighter, and he has heavy hands, so you always know he's going to be in the fight. But as soon as the fight starts, it's interesting because we want to see, okay, has Robert corrected the little things that he had, as flaws in the first Izzy fight? And then for Kelvin, it's like, can he land that big shot? So as the fight is going on, soon as the first round starts, about 30, 40 seconds into it, Robert Whittaker hits Kelvin with a 1-2 high kick to the head, changes the whole dynamic of the fight. Kelvin's eyes get big. You could just see that was that first moment of, okay, I can hurt you now. And from there, that was his combo for the rest of the fight. I mean, you watch all 5 rounds, and literally it was 1-2 in terms of jab, straight right hand, high kick to the head. And when you get that orthodox versus southpaw stance or matchup, that right, head kick is always going to be there. And literally, Robert Whittaker went to the well time in and time again. But it paid off dividends for him. But like I said, major kudos to Kelvin, because plenty of UFC fighters would have been sleep off that first head kick. But Kelvin found a way to just keep coming forward. But as a whole, I was super impressed with Robert's footwork. Man, he just controlled the distance. Even when Kelvin wanted to press him and try to get back into the fight a little bit more, he could never catch him. And that's the beauty, man. When you see a boxer with just great footwork like that and just never allows himself to be in harm's way, man, it's a beautiful sight. And for me, man, like I said, I'm a big boxing fan. So just being able to see Robert Whittaker use elite level boxing to control the space, control the distance, and always lead the dance. He was always getting his punches off first, and then showing some great, takedown offense and submissions and stuff like that, man. As a whole, just really impressive performance by Bobby Knuckles. And as a whole, I definitely think that he should be fighting Izzy next. I know there's some other contenders, guys who are just coming off of, impressive performances, but to me, what Robert was able to do versus Kelvin, it solidifies he has to get the rematch. He has to be Izzy's next fight. And for Izzy, man, you don't want to go down and fight the 5th ranked fighter. No, you want to fight Robert. I mean, we know you beat him quick, okay, and that's fine. But how many times have we seen where a guy gets knocked out early on or gets beat early, in a fight, and then the rematch happens and it's a totally different dynamic? I think that this is the potential to have that. I think this is one of those ones where Robert has seen a big flaw in Izzy because of when Izzy fought Jan Blachowicz, right? Izzy's ground defense, Izzy's takedown defense, Izzy's takedown defense has been good, but versus Yan, it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And then obviously once he gets on the ground, he showed that he was more just comfortable just laying on his back versus actually trying to work moves and submissions and try to get up. So if you're Robert, you got to be excited about that. But then also your new and improved stand-up, you got to be excited about that as well. So, man, I would love to see those two guys run it back, man. So that's how I feel about it, man. But let me know who y'all want to see Izzy fight next, or who you think Robert should fight next, man. Obviously, Robert is the number 1 contender coming off a big win against Kelvin. So that's my vote to fight Izzy next. But like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section. And until next time, baby, peace.